Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm here with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about how we can use Python to encode or decode data. Now, if you're not already familiar with this concept, encoding a stream of data is basically where you change that data in a constant way. So what I mean by that is that, for example, if we have a certain text, if we want to encode that, we can change up parts of that text in a certain way. So it's not random, but in a very precise and certain way, so that we can later decode it by reversing that same process. Now, I know it's just sounding a little maybe confusing, but it's basically like you're encrypting some text, making it like not very, like you can't read it, making it unreadable, so that you're the only one who is able to reverse that and get back the original value. So it's a pretty cool concept, and this is just a really simple and basic example of encoding, but it kind of has the essentials that, like, the basic understanding that you need to know. So let's begin. First we have a string, the alphabet, and that has every single letter and we're going to be using that. It's going to be very important later. And now we have a function encode, and it takes in an argument string, and of course this is the text that we're going to return. So what we're doing here is we're making a for loop. So we're going to go through each string and do a certain action. In this case, as you'll see in just a few minutes or seconds, we're just going to be shifting if like whatever text that the user gives, we're going to be shifting every single letter of that 2 letters ahead in the alphabet. So if I have something like, if the user says A, then we would shift it to C. If the user says something like apple, then we would take each one of its letters and move it 2 letters up in the alphabet. So, okay, so we're going to make a for loop for, what happened there? So, for character and string, so we have, through the string, we're cycling through each and every character. And if, first of all, if that character isn't in the alphabet, if it's not in the string, right? And by the way, right now, just for simplicity's sake, we're basically ignoring capital letters, right? Like, we don't have any capital letters in this string, this list over here, but, like, of course you could add that, but, like, just right now, I just want to, like, ignore that. So if the character is not an alphabet, so like if a number or capital letter or some symbol, then we just keep that the same. So basically we're going through the string, and either if that character in the string, if that's not in the alphabet, then we could just simply append that to return text. And otherwise, if it is in the alphabet, and this is the tricky part, because we're gonna append to return text. We're gonna concatenate. So we have the list alphabet, and we're gonna index that. So alphabet.index. Speaking of alphabet.index character, that is, like, for example, if my string right here is apple, then and our character is A, right? Then what this is saying is that's the index of A in apple is 0, right? It's the first element, or aka the 0th index. And so we take that index using the index method. We take that index and we add 2 to it. So it becomes, from 0 it becomes 2. Now if the character originally was, for example, something like E, right? Well, that's the end. That's the last character of the word. So the loop will end there. But let's say it's L, right? And the index there is 3. Then it would be moved up to 5. It doesn't, basically, what this is doing is it's just adding 2 to it's shifting the index up by 2. Then we're going to use a modulo operator to divide it by, basically take the remainder of that number and divide it by 26. And if it's something like 2, like if this thing right here, okay, not 2, maybe let's say 4. If the new changed index is 4, so in other words 4 modulo 26, then that's just going to be 26. That's how the modulo operator works. The remainder is going to be 4. But if it's something like 27, right, then that's going to be 1. So that's going to shift it back to A. So it may seem a little complicated right now, but I promise it'll make sense. Now we're going to return the text, and now with decode, it's literally the same thing, except here we're just decoding this. Like, you know, we encrypted this string right here by just shifting each and every letter two letters up in the alphabet. But in decode, we're just gonna move it back to characters to give us the original value. Now, of course, this is not a good, like, you should ideally have multiple layers of protection on your encrypted text, but this is, again, just for simplicity's sake. It's just a simple example. Alright, well, now we have encode and decode, and now we're gonna just ask the user, with a simple input, would you like to encode or decode, and enter your text here. If they wanted to encode, then we would just encode the text, and if they wanted to decode, then we would just decode the text. Now let's run this and see what happens. Would you like to encode or decode? Let's say we want to encode something. Let's say we want to encode apple. So you can see so like A becomes C, P becomes R, P becomes R, L becomes N, and E becomes G. Everything is shifted to 2 letters up. And now let's say we want to decode that same thing. Let's say we want to decode C, R, R, and G, and we get apple. We get the original value. So the point of really encoding is, it's just like, it looks like a bunch of nonsense, but you know that you could shift it. All you have to do is just shift it back down to two letters in the alphabet, and you get the original value. Now, what if it's something like 20, for example, if I have like Z, right? Z is the 26th letter in the alphabet. But if I want to move it up 2 letters, then we're going to get 28, right? It's going to be 28. 26 plus 2 is 28. Now, but right here, remember, the modulo 26, what this does is it divides 28, for example, by 26, and we get 2. So in the end, 2 is going to be B. So if we Z shifted 2 letters up is B, because we're just beginning a new cycle of the alphabet. All right, so that's pretty neat how well the modulo operator works. Now, for example, let me just encode zoo. It gets us BQQ, and again we could do the same. We could just decode the same thing, and we get that. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got like a fundamental understanding of how we can use Python to do cool stuff like this. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.